Good morning and welcome to this morning's episode of the Amateur in the Morning. I am your host, the Forex Amateur. Today is the 6th of November. It's a beautiful Friday morning down here in Durban. And as you guys know, it is the end of the trading week for most people, right? Not us who trade synthetic markets, but most people, it is the end of the week. So something that I like to speak about on Fridays is make sure that when you trade on a Friday, especially after you've had a very good week, you are very wary about the moves that you make on a Friday. You know, it's not necessary for you to trade on a Friday if you've had a very good week, right? So make sure that you are very careful about what you do today. And secondly, you do not give back any of the profits that you've made for the week. The last thing you want to do is work really hard throughout the week, and then come Friday, you give away 50%, 60%, or even all of the profits that you've made for the week. So just be careful about that, right? It's okay to take a personal day as well, right? So let's get straight into the episode. Just to throw in my little disclaimer there, remember, I am not qualified to provide financial, trading, or even investment advice, right? Everything I speak about on these episodes is purely my opinion on these markets. Any trades that I take is trades that I take with cash that I am willing to risk, right? So if you make any decisions to take any trades on your live account or demo account, whatever it is that you are using, make sure that it is trades you take with decisions you've made, analysis that you've done, and cash that you are willing to risk, right? Because the God's honest truth is you could lose your entire investment. And that's the reality of trading that most people do not talk about, right? So enough with all of the nitty gritties. Let's get straight into the session. We're going to talk about, the normal charts that we do speak about, which is volatility 10, 25 1S, 50 and 75, right? So it isn't arranged in that order here at the bottom because my attention, this is arranged based on what I am focused on at the moment. So don't worry about that. And let's get straight into it. Let's talk about volatility 10. So yesterday I did speak about volatility 10 getting down into the zone here. So I'm just going to increase it back again. So this was the entire zone that I had drawn out yesterday. And as you can see, it bounced into it really nicely and it pulled out, right? I've just got it minimized down to here because I would like to see a deeper retest into this level before it goes. This is a very beautiful reaction off of this level, right? So for the remainder of today, it's most likely that we're going to be seeing buying opportunities coming in on this market. How high those buys go is completely dependent on the market itself, so we can't really predict that to a certain degree, right? But what I can say is, let me just grab my annotator here. What I would expect is to look at price coming back into around this level here. The reason for that is because in terms of structure, this is a key level at the moment, right? Because you can see on the way up, price came and formed a support here. And then every time it came into the support, it basically respected it, right? Even here, came in and it bounced off, gave us a huge rejection out there. So that is a really key level. So we would expect that now that price has broken below this, and now we will expect this support to be inverted and become a resistance level, right? So this will be a good level to target on any of the buys that we do take, right? But overall, I'm expecting price to come a bit deeper into this level in here. And that is where I'm looking to take buys. And I'm targeting above these highs in here for any buys that I do take, right? So that's my thought process at the moment on volatility 10. When we drop down to the H4 chart, you can see again, price is reacting very strongly off of this level that we've marked up on the daily. Just give me a second, right? So it's reacting very strongly off this level that we've marked on the daily. So the first rejection that we should expect to see happening should be at around this level in here, where price will probably reject and give us a pullback. If you're looking at taking any trades on here, then that's most likely a level that you can participate off. Then I will expect price to come back to around this level here and respect around this level as a level of support. So I'm actually going to leave this level on my chart. I generally remove them, but this is a very interesting level for me right now. Right, so I'll expect price to push up into around that area that I marked up there, and then pull back into around this level and hold this level. This level should hold as a level of support, right? And keep price above it. No matter how many times it bounces, it should hold as a level of support until price gets back into this key level that we've identified here. So a possible bounce off here, so something like that, and then a pull back into here, and then something like that. Obviously, in terms of structure, it's not going to be that clean, so never expect structure to be that clean, right? But this would be a good level that I would be looking to take buys in terms of a day trade, either a trade that we could hold for a day or two, if possible, depending on how long it takes for price to reach into this level in here, right? If the bearish momentum is anything to go by, it's probably going to take a couple of days for price to get back into this level in there. So it might be a really good trade to hold maybe throughout the weekend, depending on how price plays out, right? So that's my thoughts on volatility 10. I'm not really going to break it down a bit further than that, because I believe that a bit more you need to look in terms of a retest into the zone and wait for price to give you good signals that it is going to push to the upside, right? Because one thing that I like to focus on is structure. So on the way down, price created this high, this low, that high, that low, that high, and that low. So those are your structures. At the moment, if you're looking at support and resistance, that is resistance, that is support. So you want to see price give you good signs that it's going to be breaking through the resistance or breaking below the support, right? I don't use support and resistance to trade, but I'm just making it a bit visual so you guys can relate. So that is something that you need to see. So price has to show you a willingness that it wants to go higher, so that when it retests, you are confident to be able to participate in that, because it's already shown you a willingness to go higher. Now, based on what it's done here already, it's already showing you a presence of bullishness. So now it just needs to be confirmed. So that is one of the reasons why I'll wait for price to push a bit higher, and then I'll look to participate off of this gray zone in there, right? Yeah, I love the way that ties in with the structure on the 15-minute as well. That's cool. So that's it on the volatility 10 trade, or the 10 chart, right? Let's talk about 25-1S. Now, this level that I've got highlighted in here is the level I've been speaking about this entire week, right? So if you've been watching the previous episodes, you'll notice I've been speaking about this entire week. I think actually since last week, I've been speaking about this level. Sorry, I wasn't here last week. Blunt moment. So I would like to see price respect this level, right? So I would like to see price respect this level. The reason for that is because in terms of structure, we currently have confirmation of bearish structure, right? We've got that high created, this low created, lower high created at that level, lower low created at that level. That means in terms of structure, I would like to see this high respected and this low broken, right? So if that's the case, I would expect price to form another lower high at around this level and then push down, right? So overall, that is what I'm looking at currently on volatility 25-1S, is I want to see this level play very strong in terms of resistance and keep price to push down to the downside. If that is the case, and if I get good enough confirmations, then I will look to participate off a sell from that level, targeting this lower blue level as the first take profit area that I would be looking to take, right? Not really much more I can speak about on the lower time frames. The reason for that is because I need to see confirmation that this level is being respected on the daily, and then I will drop down and start looking for confirmations. The reason I do that is because on 25-1S, it's not very clear. The lower you get in terms of time frames, the more noisy the charts become, right? So I really don't like to drop a bit lower than the daily and H4 prior to seeing good confirmations on there. Then only do I drop down to a lower time frame and look for entries on there. Let's talk about volatility 50. Looking at the daily chart, I did mention yesterday, apologies. I did mention yesterday that there's a probability that price will fill the wick of this previous candle in here. Apologies. The wick of this candle in here. And as you can see, yesterday's candle did push up really nicely and fill that wick. I was looking at possible selling opportunities based on a rejection that I got off this high yesterday, but unfortunately that didn't play out really well. And I should have respected my analysis. So that was an opportunity for me to learn for myself as well. So looking at this today, I would expect price to be reaching up into around these levels for the remainder of the week. The reason for that is because now we're overall bullish on this market. If you look at the weekly time frame, you can see that price is showing a lot of bullish momentum as well on the weekly time frame, and I will expect it to reach up into the higher levels, right? Just give me a second. All right, cool. No issues, bro. Right. So looking at volatility 50, I will expect it to keep pushing higher, right? So we are overall buy bias, and this is not a surprise because price has reacted to this level that I have been speaking about like for a good couple of weeks now. Sorry about that. Let's just clear this. So this level in here, price has reacted off that level, which I've been speaking about for a good couple of weeks. And I did mention off this level, take profit targets will be up in there. Right. Unfortunately, I wasn't awake at the time when price reacted off this level, and I haven't been able to find a good enough entry yet. But when I get a when I do get a good retest, I will most likely participate in this buy and take profit up in that level in there. Right. So I will expect price perhaps to react off this level here and maybe drive down a little bit. And if that happens, then off this pink zone that I've highlighted in here, this is where I would most likely buy, and I am going to target that level up in there. So I'm still waiting for price to get down in here, and that is where I'm looking to buy, right? Cool. So not much more I can speak about on the lower time frames. The reason for that is because I need the daily to play out as I wanted to before I am willing to trade this chart. But I'm loving the way it's playing out on the 4-hour chart right now. I want to see if perhaps if the high of this candle is respected, and price drives down, then that will be a really good sign for me. That will show that maybe price wants to get back down into this level. And if that does happen, then I'll possibly participate in some sells targeting down into this level in here. If not, then I will just wait for price to come back to this level, and then I will take buys. But if I catch a good enough opportunity on the sells, then I will most likely participate in that. So we're looking at this area up in here as a possible rejection zone. If not, then price will most likely make its way all the way up into around this area in here, which I wouldn't like to see happening. But if it happens, it happens. You know, you can't get every opportunity that you want. Moving on from that, looking at volatility 75. As I said yesterday, I am very bullish on this at the moment, right? But it is sitting in an area of indecisiveness at the moment, and I'm not participating in this area. What I would expect to see happening though on this chart today is it's most likely going to keep driving up into around this area in here. If it does do that, then I'll most likely participate in sells down from there. But if it doesn't do that, and if it pulls down, then I will most likely be looking to participate in buys from here, targeting as high as it goes, because overall currently I am bullish on this based on the weekly time frame. I am targeting this overall pink zone over here on the upside, right? So that is my thoughts currently on volatility 75. Cool. So that's it from my side. Not really much more that I can speak about on these charts. I mean, it is a Friday. It's a day for you to take easy if you've been making profits this week. If not, then, you know, try to still be very careful about the type of opportunities that you do take up, because it does get a bit, you know, a bit more volume in terms of the weekend, which can be a good thing if you know what you're doing, but it can be a really bad thing if you're not really sure about the opportunities that you are taking. So I'm going to leave you on that note. It's been a bit of a good week, a bit better than the past couple of weeks as well, which is really good. I think I'm up about 15 or 20% on my trading accounts at the moment, which is really, really good. So that's been a great week, especially since I've had a couple of bad weeks so far. So I'll be looking forward to talking to you guys again next week. As always, it has been a pleasure to share with you guys, and I am wishing you a blessed and a profitable trading day. If you are trading this weekend, then a profitable trading week. Ensure that you are very careful about what you do. So until next time, I'll catch up with you guys then.